Welcome to our review on the 125th anniversary year of Indian motorcycle, the Indian Scout Bobber. This is the hottest selling motorcycle in Indian's lineup by a long shot. They sell more Scout Bobbers, I think, than any other model, and for good reason. It's a great looking bike. It's very accessible as far as handling. Lightweight, easy to control, good for beginners, good for advanced riders. Everybody can have fun on it, and it comes at a lower price point than most of their other bikes. In fact, all their other bikes except for maybe the Scout 60. These are great motorcycles. I'm going to do a full test ride review for you guys, walking around the bike, showing you all the great features, and we're going to talk about everything that there is to know about the Indian Scout Bobber. You're not going to want to miss this. It's an amazing bike. Let's go. So the first thing we're going to talk about is comfort. If a bike is not comfortable, you're not going to want to ride it. And what's the point if you don't want to ride all day? The Scout Bobber, when it first came out, the first one they made, well, obviously not back in the 1900s, but like the first one they came out with a few years back here, the seat was awful, just absolutely horrible. Now, vast improvement. The seat is much, much better. Still not my favorite seat in the world, but vastly improved. I'll give the seat a solid 7 out of 10 for a small bike. That's a big improvement over what it used to be. Now, as far as the rider position, you are leaned forward. You're leaned forward over these handlebars. They do have extended reach bars that'll come back, or you can put mini apes. They've got all kinds of options, but stock, you're going to be leaned forward a bit here. We've also got forward rider foot controls. I find that comfortable. Some people might prefer mids, but I like the forward controls on this bike. If I was going to ride it all day, I would probably want to step up into something like, some extended bars and get myself more upright, because my upper body is leaned forward here, and that's okay. It gives you more handling control, especially when you're in the twisties. But for highway riding like this, some taller handlebars and a windscreen might be nice right now. Overall, the riding position, not bad, but it's aggressive. It's leaned forward, and that gives you some really good handling. And for a beginner, I think this is a great spot for people to start. It teaches you really good control over the motorcycle. Just my 2 cents on that. Now, since we're on the highway, let's talk about power. We're sitting on top of the SpeedPlus liquid-cooled engine, 1250cc. We're making 105 ponies and 82 foot-pounds of torque. We're in 5th gear, and we're on the highway, and we're getting passed by some people. But if I just do a very quick blip on the throttle here, you can see from 65, jump right up there, another 10 miles an hour in less than a second. Very quick, very good on torque. So if you had to pass quickly or get yourself out of a situation quickly, great power. I'm getting passed by people in the right lane. You people are nuts. I'm getting Final Destination vibes off of that concrete thing on the back of the truck. Hope he doesn't hit a bump. Anyway, tons of power, tons of torque. Indian engines are known for their torque. Just very, very quick. We are in sport mode. The bike has riding modes for the engine. I believe it's rain, standard, and sport, but I will double check when we get up here. This engine also has an unlock available, I believe. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure there's an unlock available that basically gives it the same tune as the 101 Scout. You have to purchase that from Indian. They can flash the ECU and unlock a little more potential over stock, because it's the same engine as what you have in the 101 Scout, but different tune, different performance out of it. It does have some nice features like cruise control, just stuff that on a basic bike Something this small is kind of a rarity, but very nice to have, especially on the highway. Alright, so for power, we're going to give it a 10 out of 10. This thing moves. It is zippy. It is fast. It's got some serious pep to it. The beautiful Indian Scout Bobber seat is so much improved over the Scouts from a few years ago. Now, with the newer Scouts, we're moving away from the key that used to be down here on the side, and we've replaced it with a fob that just knows when it's within range, and that's your power on, power off. We'll go ahead and power it off there for a moment. Single disc brake up front, ABS. Good looking engine, the 1250cc, again making 82 foot-pounds of torque and 105 horsepower. Beautiful looking bike. This is the Scout Bobber Limited, so you've got the limited trim badging right there. The limited, I think, adds a couple little trim pieces, nothing super fancy, but does make it just a little more polished, a little more refined. What you get here also is the tech package, and that is the 4-inch ride command display and digital controls on the handlebars. Good looking bike. Let's now talk about this ride command display. When you hop on, go ahead and turn the power on down here. Ride command will boot up. A lot of information. I mean, there's tons of good stuff here. It can be a little overwhelming if you're a new rider looking at getting a Scout, but it's all really great, and you can customize some of this as well. Indian Ride Command is one of the best systems out there on the touring bikes and on their Scout bikes. Touchscreen, but when you're riding, you can't be reaching up here touching stuff. On your handlebars, right where your index fingers fall, on this side it's lights, but over here it cycles through the screens, and then you have a navigational button over here on the left handlebar control where you can move things around on the screen like a cursor and select things. That way you never have to take your hands off the handlebars while riding. Now we've got navigation built in as well. Takes a minute for the GPS signal. We're out kind of in the middle of nowhere here. With the Ride Command Plus stuff, you get stuff like traffic and live weather and all that kind of stuff. You get rain, standard, and sport. Traction control, we're going to leave that on. Change the brightness of your display. There are other settings to this bike. I don't remember how to get into it right now, but there are some other settings you can access. There we go. Map, music, phone. So if you have music like on your phone paired to Ride Command and then to your headset, you can listen through your headset but see on the screen, hey, what you're listening to, skip to the next song and see the music information, as well as take or decline phone calls and see stuff like that. If we go into bike information, we can see some info on the motorcycle. And then if we go back here, my gloves are wearing out. There we go. I'm going to put it back on nav, let you guys see that. On the controls over here, when you're in certain screens like nav, very simple controls in and out, and you can zoom in and out. And works very nicely. Cruise control on the left handlebar here, and we've got a back button as well. This is all kind of like Ride Command right there. That's pretty much it for controls. Very simple. Lots of good information. Can be a little overwhelming maybe if you're a new rider, but for experienced riders, Ride Command is the way to go. I absolutely love Ride Command on my Chieftain. It's one of the best systems out there. And on the touring bikes, you get CarPlay. So, fabulous integration. All right. We've talked about power. Amazing. Comfort. Pretty darn good. And it's a beautiful looking bike. And we did the walk around in the tech package, so let's talk about handling. Scouts are the lightest, nimblest, quickest little bikes in Indian's lineup. Handling is just absolutely superb. If you need to change lane position real quick, let's say there's a pothole, left, over to middle, over to right, over back to left. Hello, we got some bicyclists. It's very nimble, very quick, very easy to control. That forward lean over to the handlebars and the forward controls add to that handling ability. It gives you a more aggressive handling stance. Great for handling little twisties and curves. I would love to take one of these things on the tail of the Dragon. I've only been through the Dragon on the Chief and the Chieftain, but I would love to take a Scout through there. Bet it would be a lot of fun. Let's talk about styling a little bit. That kind of goes with handling to some degree because they have different versions of the Scout. They've got the Scout Classic that's going to bring your handlebars up and back a little bit, more of an upright riding position. The Bobber's going to have the lower bars here, a little more of an aggressive stance to it, and that's because of the look you're going for with the Bobber. And of course, you got the chop bobber fender back there. So the looks and the handling come into play with each other when it comes to the handlebars. But if you start with a Bobber and decide, hey, I'd like to get a little more comfortable over time, maybe you want to take more touring rides and bring the handlebars up and back, there's plenty of options available, so that's not a problem. The bar end mirrors, not exactly my favorite, but I mean, I understand the look they're going for there. Technically in my state, I think you only need one, so I would take off one and put the other one and flip it underneath rather than have it sticking up. It's a little annoying actually in my vision having it up that high, but again, just personal preference on style. I like the flat maroon look to it here. It's flat, but it's got a little bit of red metallic sparkle in it. I like the sparkly ones. So pretty. Looks really good in the sunshine. Like really good. You get a little glint of sunshine on this and the sparkle and the red comes out. Oh, just perfect. Well done on the paint. Good choice there, Indian. If you're looking for a beginner motorcycle, the Scout is an amazing bike. They make one with a slightly smaller engine called the Scout 60. That bike is still fast and speedy. So you could get on a Scout 60 and still have room to grow, and you wouldn't get bored with it over time, I don't think. It's still got plenty of power. But this is the slightly bigger brother to the Scout 60. This is just the regular Scout with the 1250, the new SpeedPlus 1250 engine, and this is across the Scout lineup, whether it's the Bobber, the Sport Scout, or the 101. The 101 just has a different tune, again, to it. Great looking bikes, lots of heritage, lots of class with an Indian. America's 250th this year, and Indian's 125th. Very poetic. America's first and best motorcycle. So, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Do you like the Scout Bobber? Apparently, I didn't know this, but it is their #1 best-selling bike by numbers and volume. I don't know if that's worldwide or just in the US or what, but that's the data I was able to find and pull. They do big numbers on the Bobber specifically. And my guess is, considering they're all pretty close and pretty similar, it's because of the look. People like the Bobber look. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'm going to wrap this video up here. Thank you so much for watching. If you're new to my channel, I've toured across America in national parks on the Chieftain, Route 66, Sturgis a few times. I have motorcycle camping and touring videos and tons of test ride videos. So if you guys are interested in any of that, consider subscribing. I'd really appreciate it. Share this video with your buddy and tell him why he needs to get off of that bike from the 90s and get something hotter, newer, and way better looking. Might even be able to tell him the same thing about his girlfriend. Who knows? Anyway, until next time, thank you guys so much for watching. Be careful out there. Ride safe. Ride on. I'll catch you on the next video. Deuces.